They'll be calling you a radical. BLANCHtradomas. So, are we winding down this quarter century? We got another year. Year 2025, if man is still alive, counts. This fucked up quarter century. Fucking time to make BLANCHtradomas' predictions, which I always get them right. For Hamlet and Cassandra, they got together. They had a baby. And he could see I've always been able to see the future. Always. For real, since I was a little kid. And no one believes me. And if you don't know who Cassandra was, look her up. That's just mythology. Okay. All right. So, first and foremost, Fukushima. I want people to understand Fukushima is an ongoing event. Fukushima isn't retro. The well starvation event. Unusual one. It's an ongoing event. The Pacific Ocean dying. It's an ongoing event. The heat don't. It's an ongoing event. But Fukushima, they didn't do anything. The cores have melted in the Pacific Ocean and fucking caused the greatest fucking heat, fucking acute, fucking radical. It's the greatest subject matter in the history of the world. And the nuclear energy emperors have no clothes. Fukushima is worse today than it was yesterday. It was worse yesterday than it was the day before. It was worse the day before yesterday than it was the day before yesterday, and so on and so on. Fucking, you're in denial. It's the greatest event in human history. Fucking, the Great Pacific Genocide. All foretold by BLANCHtradomas. Play back the tape, Your Honor. Just predicted all the greatest events in human history. So, what's your predictions for the year 2025, if man is still alive? BLANCHtradomas. One, let's start with Trump and his trumpets. Let's start there. Be careful what you ask for. So, what I believe with Trump, I go back because I used to listen to Trump's lectures when I was in New York all this time because I was really, I was heavily involved in the activist community for all those years. So was he. He really just ripped the Saudis, just ripped Bush, just ripped Cheney, the whole imperialist call. He used to go off on Richard Pearl, Wolfowitz. Remember, just go off, said they belonged in jail. Remember, he used to just go off and say, they were Saudis. What are we attacking Iraq? So, and I've always said this. Now, his first presidency, well, he'll tell you he was had. And I'm not a Trump fan. Don't get me wrong. I never voted for him. But he was right on Iraq. He was dead on the money on Iraq. A lot of people were. And that's when he was a registered Democrat. And I used to always say, Donald Trump's much more like Jane Fonda than draft-dodging spaghetti Western John Wayne. John Wayne was a draft dodger in World War II. Well, so was Trump a draft dodger, but that was Vietnam. I would draft it too, dodge it too. Who wouldn't? I did not inhale Bill Clinton. Anybody was anybody. By the way, the great Jimmy Carter. Carter was smarter. Well, that just proves how Trump has radically changed. How could he not change? 2 assassination attempts, one of them by that far. You think about this, and he's going to prison for the rest of his life. And he pulls off this win. You don't think that guy's fucking relieved? Oh, fuck, please. Oh, come on. He's not stupid. I mean, he's a tariff guy. Tariffs is a left thing. Tariff is a Hamiltonians. I thought the righties hated the Hamiltonians. I mean, transformational president? We'll see. Liar just says whatever he can to get in there and fucking seek self into. Oh, fuck yeah. Is he different? Here's what I predict for 2025. First off, I predict the far right, who thinks Trump is the orange Jesus, are going to turn on him. I think they're going to consider him, he's going to betray them, and they're going to turn on him radically because I think he's going to legislate. Now, he's going to have to deal with this Congress and Senate, but I think there's an undertow going inside political parties. The Democrats have been so radically rejected, rightfully so, because Obama, the war pigs, and the imperialists that they've turned into. The fucking P. Diddy crowd, fucking freak show. So, I think Trump is going to legislate like a lefty. He's already used the word Fukushima. And I think they're going to fucking, their lids are going to blow off. I think they're going to go psycho, but it's too late. Can't run again. And the tariffs, hopefully, does them broad-based and not like he did before once you start wearing them Trump's girl shoes. I think he's going to go back. Now, will he stay in bed with the Saudis? Will he support the Middle East? It doesn't matter because I think there's going to be there's a grassroots swell going on. The biggest thing I think is going to happen in the year 25, I think somebody inside the CIA, the powers that be, is going to get leukemia, and as they're dying of leukemia, is going to leak out all the goods on Fukushima, the greatest cover-up in human history. They're going to leak out that they attacked Kevin Blanch radically, why he's in critical condition, tried to kill me. I think they're going to leak out what they know, that Fukushima is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history, and Obama and then Trump doubled down with a B. Fucking all of them covered this fucking up to protect the nuclear. It was not covered up to protect so-called panic. Let's go shopping, George W. I think it's going to be leaked out. I think somebody's going to come forward this year and say, look at this, and it's going to get into the internet, you know. Will they try to kill whoever? Of course, but I think it's going to be somebody who's dying of leukemia, like I was. When I was inside the bone marrow transplant, the people inside here, where's my Sinonofre book? There it is. Why do you think they came to me? You know, I've been heavily involved with those guys because they know if you leak anything, the nuclear energy cult, the crime syndicate, you tell the truth of the cult, they'll kill you. They'll carry and silkwood you. They knew that. Why do you think they leaked to me? I'm at a bone marrow transplant center with a center line hanging out of my fucking jugular, mine sucked up to, and I'm going to die. What did I give a fuck? I mean, these people take their fucking pain, their lies to their grave. I think one person inside is going, and then they're going to get it out to somebody else in mainstream media. I think there's going to be a giant reckoning in mainstream media. I think the book is going to get opened this year on 9/11 and 3/11. I think that the whole world is going to absolutely turn on the people that orchestrated the lies of Iraq. It took that long, of Iraq and Afghanistan. New York Times, Washington Post, Richard Pearl, Wolfowitz, Bremer, Cheney, Bush, Condoleezza Rice, Tony Scumbag Blair. I think the world's going to turn. So I think they're having an awakening right now. I think what's going on in the Middle East is fucking really woke the whole fucking world up. I think the anti-imperialism movement is going to be born. You know, we've kind of gone quiet, you know, the Million Mass March, all these different movements, you know, that I was heavily involved. And we've gone quiet. Why? Because the Trumpettes. I mean, what they did at the fucking morons. And it stopped people from going into the fucking street because they're afraid to get labeled into that bunch. But I think you're going to see an upswelling on the I think the anti-imperialist movement, which I use the "and," is going to be born in earnest. And believe it or not, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I think the person that's going to support it the most is Trump against some of his own family members. He went to Jared. So I think Trump got scared straight. Oh, fuck yeah. Let's do a statement on Carter. You know what you say? I mean, Carter was, please give me the 70s back. I think there's going to be a fucking uprising and an upswell, and it's going to be rooted around the cover-up of Fukushima. Because it is the crowning jewel of these imperialist rats. Fucking BLANCHtradomas. And if you don't believe I can see the future, play back the tape, Your Honor. People are going to turn on these imperialist fucking rats. And I don't believe in violence. They do. So it's already happening globally. It's just here in the United States of user. And I think it's going to be left, right. I think it's going to be, well, I think it's going to turn into class warfare. And like I said, I don't believe in violence. They do. I think that the economy's going to head south. I don't think it's going to be what it already is. You know, the stock market, I don't think people know this, that the stock market is 100% controlled and dominated by basically one more person. Lord Larry. BlackRock runs the fucking stock market. You know, I'm an old trader. I'm an old Wall Street guy. Fucking, I taught the derivative art class, the number one school in the fucking country. You know, I taught all the stock market classes there. The computers completely have control, and he controls it. He owns so. I mean, fuck. Musk, Bezos, it's King Musk, Lord Bezos, Lord Gates, Lord Larry, King Larry is fucking worth more money than all of them put together. You know, and I think, where's your crown? I think the world's going to turn on all these fucking people. I think, well, that's my prediction. And I don't believe in violence. They do. The nuclear energy crime syndicate lid's going to come off. This is an ongoing event. This is the greatest event in human history. Pacific Ocean dies. Stock market makes all-time highs. You know, the inflate gate fucking we're way out. They're going to have to come to a reckoning inside Congress because the populace is going to force them to. There is a gut going on right now on Iraq and Afghanistan. It took that long. But it's happening. People are turning on them. Military. I think the military themselves are the ones that are going to fucking turn on these imperialists that did that to their own men. Because of Iraq, it took that long. 20 fucking years, yeah. But it's going to be 3/11 and 9/11. I think you're going to see a revolt. I think the propaganda that they've spread out through the internet, we've come down to this. It's like this. You talk, you know, if you looked on the internet, fuck, the nuclear energy is the greatest thing since fucking the wheel, since fire, since YouTube. All lies. All lies. Fucking. So, my other prediction, TikTok, Diablo Canyon clock. I predict that we get a major, major earthquake in California. I think it's going to happen. Well, it's long overdue. And I think it's going to turn into a mega disaster because of Diablo Canyon. And the people that supported nuclear energy and fucking did post lessons from Fukushima and learn are going to be fucking gone after. And like I said, I don't believe in fucking violence. They do. I think that we're going to have a major nuclear disaster. Well, we already have one. It's called Fukushima ongoing. But we're going to have one to add to it. I think it's going to be a Diablo Canyon. I mean, well, I predicted Fukushima for years. What's going to happen? You keep saying, you know, remember I did the due diligence at the Water School of Business. I'm Mach 1, Mach 2. Where's this nuclear disaster going to happen? I used to always say, my list, 1, San Onofre, San Diego County, California, North County. 2, Diablo, San Luis Obispo. 3, Fukushima Daiichi. Let's build nuclear reactors on the Ring of Fire. TikTok. We've shut down so many nuclear reactors in this fucking since 2013. The activist that wins, Kevin Blanch. No wonder they fear me. Run along, Johnny. BLANCHtradomas. I've always been able to see the future. Always. Play back the tape, Your Honor. So everybody that's gone along with this imperialist fucking cult, is it going to be like the 30s? No. I think it's going to be more subtle. And like I said, I think the radical right who's supported the Middle East of Eden, who are really, and then you have the imperialist sicko lefts that, I mean, fuck, what a bunch of freaks they turned into. Obama did that. I think the degenerate right that wants the world to end so Orange Jesus can save us, I think they're going to turn on fucking Trump. Be careful what you ask for. I mean, you're already starting to see it with him. It's not even that big of a prediction. You're starting to see it with him. I think he's going back to his leftist roots. And he's a lefty. He's way more like Jane Fonda. He's always preached anti-war. He's always preached anti-nuclearism. In his first term, did he? Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. He got in line, and he even said it was a mistake. He went along. I think he got scared straight. He came that close. I think he's getting older and conscious. I don't think he has a conscience. But as people get older like that, they resort to their foundation. He's an old man. He's an old fucking guy at the end of his life. You know, he's not in very good health. And I think he's going to open up the book. He already said the word Fukushima on Bootlicker Joe Rogan. I know a little bit about a lot. I know a lot. Of course, they promote fucking Rush Limbaugh. That guy's pathetic as fuck. Of course, that's what they promote. Fucking the whole, you know, and we're afraid of the elites. We're afraid of the elites when they empower the elites. Up is down. Fucking wrong is right. Let's call it New World Order when it's Old World Order. Donald 1, Donald 2. Inside Congress, because the righties have it, I think there's going to be a reckoning go on inside. Because you're having a transformational time in this country. Because it's like this. The working class, the poor, well, you can see that with the shooting in New York of the healthcare system. They're finally going to bleed together. I think you're going to see the left. You're starting to see it happen. It's happening inside the Republican Party. Because the Democrats, they're done. They're over. They're gone. They went fucking into woke fucking lullaby. But the bigger piece of what the Democrats is they become fucking warmongering, fucking everything that used to be anti-environment, just war pigs. Why did Biden lose? Well, forced out, and George Clooney appointed Queen Kamala because of the Middle East of Eden. Genocide Joe is the perfect name because that's what he is. People know they're violated what's going on over there. I think they're going to turn on the imperialists. I think you're finally going to see a class warfare. Now, will it be violent? I don't think it'll be that violent. I think it'll be more of they're going to turn and shun. And like I said, I don't believe in violence. They do. And I think it's going to turn inside the military. I think you're going to have a major, almost like a military coup, but it's going to be the working class. I think they're going to turn on the imperialists, and everybody's gone along, especially in the mainstream media, the vloggers, the bloggers, everybody, the bootlickers, all, you know, KSL from hell, and these false prophets. I think that the world is finally going to turn on these false prophets, you know, the megachurches, the Joel Osteens of the world, who are nothing but false prophets. I mean, it's written in right here in Utah. It's written into their own doctrine. I think the populace has had it. And I think the capitulation to it is the Middle East of Eden. What's going on in Gaza? It's got people so fucking violated, and it's actually sickening in their fucking gut. The world. I think it's going to be global. I think globally and worldwide, but I think they're going to turn on the imperialists. I think it's going to be, as I term it, the ant itself, capital I, the anti imperialist movement, I think is going to happen. And believe it or not, you know who I think is going to support it more than anybody, against some of his own family members, against some of the other things. And I think it's going to be Trumpy. I'm starting to see it. I would have never believed it. I wouldn't have believed this just a few months ago, but you're starting to see it with him. He used the word Fukushima. Now remember, he was president for 4 years. I asked him, you know, open the book on Fukushima from here to there. And he didn't. He met with a beast 17 times. Remember when he first got inaugurated? They blacked out the fucking windows. What do you think they're talking about? What happened to a bee? Whoa. I think the Pacific Ocean is going to continue to free fall. I think the lid's going to come off on the cover of Fukushima. And that's going to be the trigger. The trigger is going to be somebody inside the CIA, because it kills those rats too, is going to be dying of leukemia. And they're going to say, wait a minute, I can't believe I went along with it. And they're going to grow a conscience. I think 1 of 1,000 in there maybe has a conscience. And somebody's going to leak it out into somebody in media who's going to grow a conscience. Say, wait a minute, fuck it. That's had loved ones die post 20, and it's going to come out. And it's going to come out what they did to Kevin Blanch. Attack me while I'm full of AML leukemia. And the truth's going to come out. And the country is going to flip their fucking lid. It's going to freak out. It's going to turn on every single fucking person who covered up Fukushima. There'll be nowhere to run. There'll be nowhere to hide. I think, and again, I do not believe in violence. We'll let the higher powers take care of those fucking rats. That's what I think is going to happen. BLANCHtradomas, 2025, if man is still alive. By the way, Fukushima is ongoing event. Just never happened to Mayak, never happened to Sadison, never happened to Chernobyl. Chernobyl, 780,000 men entombed, including mining underneath it. There, and I think the number one person they're going to be is going to be held accountable for this is Obama. Now Trump, he's going to get a second chance because he covered it up too. Oh, Biden, Rahm Emanuel, fucking John Holdren, all these but it's going to be bigger than that. It's going to be the media and everybody, all these senators, congressmen, university professors. I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a marine biologist. I think people are going to turn so right. Well, they're going to turn on so-called the scientific community because they lied about Fukushima. And I think the lid's going to come out where the demic really came from, which I believe it's Fukushima, the mutation. And I think it's going to be a year of truth. I think it's going to be a year, and I think inside the Republican Party, because there is no Democratic Party. Democratic Party went warmongering, except for Bernie. There's a small group of them. There's 10 of them sustained and voted against Price Anderson for another 20 years, and Merkel. Those type. I mean, Bernie was right the whole fucking time, and I think the Republican Party is going to turn more into a party of Bernie Sanders. And now you're going to get that radical faction right, who's sure the world's coming to an end any minute, so Orange Jesus can, call back to you and say that. But I think those people are going to go by the wayside. And you know who really did a number that ended that whole movement? And I think that movement's over. It's been ugly for fucking 20 years. Alex Jones took care of that. Fucking that piece of shit, what he did to me. Fucking. Why don't you have Kevin Blanch, the world's foremost expert on Fukushima, on your show? It's out there. Twice. He's an activist, blah, blah, blah. He knew I was on to him. I'm full of critical condition. I'm dying of cancer. I'm doing the greatest PhD in human history. I don't have any money. I've been wiped out because of the medical industry. And that's another thing I think it'll be a reckoning. I think the medical industry, everybody's played along with that. Alex Jones is tagging my fucking Tide Pool videos. And so is Jeff Rance. On their websites. Right underneath my videos, they're putting, get your Patriot gear, and they're marking it up 1,000%. Buy your water filters, buy your thing, blah, blah, blah. And they made tens of millions of dollars off my videos. And they knew I was dying. And I had no money. Guess how much money either one of them or any of their supporters sent me? 0.0. Karma's a motherfucker, is all I got to say. Do I think Trump is radically changing? Yeah. I think he got scared straight. I mean, how could it not? He came that close. Whoa. 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 Do I think he's going to be, well, I've always said he's more like Jane Fonda than fucking draft dodging fucking John Wayne manufactured spaghetti western fucking Hollywood. So I think it's going to be the year the lid comes off Fukushima. I think it's going to be the birth of the anti-imperialist movement. And I think it's going to be a massive movement. And I think it's going to happen inside the Republican Party. And well, they're already seeing the war. And I think the far radical right that's degenerate wants the world to come to the end, and the false prophets, the people that claim they aren't religious, the mega churches, whatever. I think the pops is going to turn on. I think the world's going to completely turn on the Middle East of Eden, these imperialist fucking monsters, including Tsar Poo-Poo. I think it'll be the end of the Putin regime. I think it'll be the end of the Netanyahu regime. I think both those regimes are going to end this year. The new Trump regime, I think, the Democratic Party's done. I mean, you have small factions of it, but they went all P. Diddy imperialism, woke fucking psycho fucking warmongering fucking really out of control fucking deaf freak. And I think I think you're going to see a bleeding of the working class, left and right. I think they're going to come together. Well, I think that it's already happening, but I think you're going to see the anti-imperialist movement born. It's going to be born this year, in earnest. And the lid's going to come off the Fukushima cover-up. And who's going to blow the lid off? Trump. We already said it on Joe Rogan. So, it's my prediction. And I never voted for fucking Trump. I can't stand the fucker. Of course, I really can stand Obama and fucking Biden. That's called betrayal. Oh, cursed spite that I was ever born to set this right. I have some rule for you, Chemo, and I have some for me. But you must wear yours with a difference. The country and western version of Hamlet. I've always been able to see the future. Play back the tape. The greatest event in human history. The Fukushima nuclear meltdowns. The cover-up, and everybody who's played along with it. I believe they're going to go to the lowest form of hell, which I believe is a black hole. Fucking for time and all eternity. BLANCHtradomas 2025. Again, I do not believe in violence. They do. Me and Robin Hood. The Robin Hood Party 2025. Stand tuned.